Breaking news, Mike Priefer has been relieved of his duties as the Browns special teams coordinator. I think we all woke up today to this notification and were decently surprised by the firing, but we're going to break it down, plus some early replacement options as two names have surfaced so far as potential special teams coordinators for the Browns for 2023. But Mary Kay tweeted out this morning, the Browns have parted ways with special teams coordinator Mike Priefer. And a couple early reactions I had were, one, why did this take 6 weeks to happen after Joe Woods was fired? Nearly 6 weeks to the day. It would have been 6 weeks yesterday. The Browns haven't played a snap of football since. So what's changed for Kevin Stefanski and company? And then then we found the answer a little bit later, which was it looks like the Browns may have found an upgrade in a former Browns player, which we'll look at later on. But when we talk about Mike Priefer, and we'll spend the first half kind of chopping it up in terms of his time as the Browns special teams coordinator from 2019 to present, the ultimate downfalls I have for him was there was just no kick/punt return consistency. Jakeem Grant getting hurt was a bummer. Jakeem Grant also got hurt in early August. You had time to try and find a replacement, and they ended up shuffling through a handful of guys. Cade York struggled, and kickers are weird because how much of it do you want to put on the kicker and how much does it go on the special teams coordinator's plate? But at the end of the day, Cade York was not good at home. And that's something a special teams coordinator has to be able to nail down, has to be able to tell the kicker what to expect when kicking at home. Plus, he had 3 kicks blocked, I believe, off the top of my head. That's just unacceptable, point blank. And then the Jets game. Ultimately, it felt like Joe Woods and Mike Priefer sort of lost their job when the Browns blew that lead to the Jets. But I do want to have a little bit of positivity when it comes to Mike Priefer, because we had this moment. Mike Priefer was the interim head coach for one game against the Steelers in the playoffs, and for that, I'll always be grateful and thankful to Mike Priefer for beating the Steelers at Heinz Field. Quick trivia, last team to win a playoff game in Pittsburgh? Trying to remember. I think it just came to my head. But for that reason, I'll always have a little place in my heart for Mike Priefer. But let me know, was this the right decision? Was moving on from Priefer the right call? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. It's the pinned comment. And hey, while you're getting your replies in, this is why you subscribe too. Because when breaking news happens, we scramble the Jets, we get into the office quicker, and producer McCullough and I get together a video breaking down the latest on your Cleveland Browns. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Now, I know what you're all wondering. All right, let's get to the replacements portion. Who's going to be the next special teams coordinator? Well, Cameron Justice tweeted out, the Browns are expected to have this position filled quickly. Which, by the way, can we just take a moment to, think about, for the first time in a while, we've got some real hard-hitting news to talk about today. It's been some scraping bottom of the barrel, free agency, buzz, and trades and whatnot. But fuck yeah, we got some news today. Let's do this. But early replacements for Mike Priefer and potential targets. I've got 2 in mind, and it really wasn't even my thoughts. It came to us because the Browns were quick to look for a replacement, which makes me think they didn't fire Mike Priefer today because they came to an awakening of he's a bad special teams coordinator. I think it was because this former Browns player, Bubba Ventrone, might be available, and honestly, I think Kevin Stefanski somewhat knows 3 straight years of not making the postseason could be the end for him in Cleveland. So he saw an opportunity to upgrade and get the Colts special teams coordinator, Bubba Ventrone, of course, played for the Browns, and we'll break this down and what to expect out of Ventrone and his background with the Colts and whatnot in just a moment. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's Browns Report is sponsored by Cultivate, the free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon US sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery for these sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you can pick up the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports and download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. Support the show and download with our link. It's down in the comments and the description of today's video. It's wecultivate.us/chatsports. Shout out to Cultivate. Now, getting back to Ventrone here. So, Tom Pelissero tweeted out, the Browns requested an interview with Colts special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone, who is considered a top candidate for the same job in Cleveland. A former Browns special teams ace, Ventrone has led one of the NFL's top units in Indianapolis. If you don't remember, we'll look at his background a little bit, but he was a special teams captain for the Browns over 10 years ago now. But we've got this from Stephen Holder, a NFL and Colts reporter, who tweeted out, multiple people have already told me this morning that Bubba Ventrone is gone and will take the job in Cleveland. That's not a confirmation, but sounding more like this will happen. So before we really look at any X's and O's behind Ventrone, would you want him as the special teams coordinator? Personally, I woke up this morning and my thought process was, only the Browns would wait 6 weeks to fire a coach. What are they thinking? And then it's, looks like Browns got wind with a new coaching change and regime coming into Indianapolis that Ventrone might be on the market. So that's an obvious upgrade. No denying that. Let's pounce on this. Now, some background on Ventrone, his playing career. He started off with the Patriots, brief stint with the Jets on their practice squad, then back to New England. Then, of course, was with the Browns from 2009 to 2012. He was a Pro Bowl alternate special teamer. He's just a glue guy in one of the three biggest phases of football, of course. Wrapped up his career playing in San Francisco. Now, his coaching career, he started off with the Patriots as an assistant special teams coach from 2015 to 2017. And for the last 5 years, he's been the Indianapolis Colts special teams coordinator. So, what has he done? What has he done as the special teams coordinator in Indianapolis? Well, at least in kickoff returns, he's had this group flying, which is something the Browns cannot say. In fact, in the 5 years that the Colts, that Ventrone was the special teams coordinator for Indianapolis, only once did Cleveland rank ahead of Indy in kickoff returns, and that was in 2018 when Indianapolis was 29th and the Browns were 28th. But the last 3 years, top 6. Consistency. The last 4 years, Browns, off the top of my head, and you can fact check me, but I'm feeling pretty good about this, probably not even, definitely not top 10. I would even go as far to say not even top half in the NFL for 4 straight seasons. Now, we also have this. It's not just a one-horse race right now. Adam Schefter tweeted out that the Cleveland Browns have requested permission to interview New York Giants assistant special teams coordinator Anthony Blevins for their special teams coordinator job. Blevins had stints with the Cardinals prior to his job with the Giants, and he interviewed with the Broncos for their special teams coordinator position. So, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are doing their due diligence, and they're bringing a whole bunch of horses in, picking the best one. It should be Bubba, but hey, we're going to let them do some other interviews, but it's got to be Bubba. Bubba's also just a top 5 name. Big Bubba guy here. Now, we also have some interesting news to hit on today, as it's all been dropped at once. Ian Rappaport tweeted out, the Browns are expected to hire Ephraim Banda as their safeties coach. Source said, Banda is currently the defensive coordinator at Utah State and spent time at Mississippi State and Miami before that. I'm going to go out right now and be honest with you on level here. I have no idea how the Utah State Aggie safeties were in 2022, but I'm going to hope they were good. I watched very little Utah State football. I think I watched them once when they played Wyoming because that was the last leg of my parlay. Now, in terms of the Browns coaching moves, it's seen a lot, actually. We just saw Mike Priefer get canned. Joe Woods, of course, got fired and hired by the Saints. Quarterback coach Drew Petzing, he got, poached by the Cardinals to be their offensive coordinator. Jeff Howard, the DB's coach, left for the Chargers. Chris Kiffin left for the Texans. And now we've seen Cleveland hire a coach after losing 5/firing 2, really, Ephraim Banda. So those are the latest coaching moves around your Cleveland Browns. Expect more over the couple coming days, maybe even weeks, as there's no football to be played for a while. I know we're all anxious and impatient for hirings to be made, but when they don't have a game until September and they don't have OTAs until April, there's not really a huge dire rush for this to get done, other than you don't want some other team to hire your top guy. That's really the only thing they're racing against here. That's going to do it for us on today's Browns Report. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Matthew Petey. I've been going to war on Twitter with people that think that the Browns are not going to restructure Deshaun Watson's contract / they don't know what a restructure is. So I could use some reinforcements right now. Bring on the cavalry. Follow me on Twitter at Matthew Petey. I put that link in the comments and the description of today's show.